Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I have a bit of a professional setup. I have my phone on a tripod. So here's the headache I have to deal with now. It's been a few years since I've had these off. I have to take this off, and I think in order to get to this, I have to pull this off. And I don't remember how I did all that, so bear with me. I'll be right back. I mean, that seems like a lot of work just to get to some tail lights, but just bear with me. I'll be right back. And once I get it loose, because this is going to be a true how-to instead of me editing out what I've done. But if you noticed, I did pull off my saddlebags. They're burnt. They're not worth anything. So I am going to get some new saddlebags, but I'm going to focus on one thing at a time. Right now I want to get these tail lights switched out. They are still chrome, but they'll be painted once I paint the rest of the bike. But as of right now, I'm just trying to figure out how to get the parts off so I can get to it. Like I said, it's been a couple of years and I don't really remember, so just bear with me. Alright guys, I'm back. It was definitely a pain in the butt because I didn't know what I was looking for, but essentially what you want to do, if I can step over here without breaking my neck, so you have a screw going through this piece here as well as the opposite side. So it's what holds on these brackets. You got one on this side and one on this side, and then you can get this up just enough to where you can get in here and start unbolting this. There's a nut that sits on the back side, and all you do is you rotate this. If I can, the whole thing's trying to rotate with it. Now if I end up breaking these wires, I'm not that worried about it, simply because I'm replacing the whole thing. I'm trying not to break the wires, so really what you could do is just rotate it back the other way and try again if you're trying to save it. Now, I'm sure there's another method to doing this. This is just my method. What I'm going to try and do, if I can keep this nut from spinning, use a little backwoods ingenuity here. Squeeze down on that nut. There we go. And now you can just rotate this free. And it's out. So there's a nut that's back there. This one kind of vibrated itself loose over the years, but it is still in there. So I've got to get that one out. But as of right now, I need to tug on the wires on the inside of where these come from and figure out which one. So let's see here. Come on. I think I got, okay, found this one. So let's figure out, let's see here. So yeah, I'm still on that one, and then it is, which one are you? It comes up through this hole right here. So I'm just trying to figure out which one is which. That's definitely not it. I think I found it. Let's see here. Yes, this is it right here. So I think this one's just simple lift up right here, and the whole thing comes out. Yep. Alright, so I've got something tied into this wiring. So I'm going to have to snip it, unfortunately. But I'm going to snip it a great deal back because I snipped it up here before and I don't want to tie into the wrong thing. So now all I have to do is run this back down through here. Hopefully all this electrical tape isn't going to keep it from going in that hole. Come on. There we go. Alright, now I do believe that this is free. If I can get this through the hole, perhaps if I go to the other side I can actually see what I'm doing instead of working by feel. Alright, so what do we have? That is a very small hole and I'm not sure if that's going to work. Let's see here. It's going to be a 20-minute video of just me trying to get this out of here. Oh, what do we got? You come back through there. What do we have on here? Okay, so there's a bunch of electrical tape that's got this all bound up in all kinds of different ways. So I've got to undo a lot of this electrical tape so I can get this thing through the hole. Because of course it's not going to come through like that. It's just made to accommodate two little wires. Like I said, just got your ground wire and your trigger wire. So, yeah. So let's see if this will work this time. I believe so. If I can get it through the first hole, I can get it through this little bracket here that it bolts into. The hard part is fighting both of these at the same time. Oh boy. And it's coming. I'm going to have to use my knife, but I'm going to use the back side of it so I don't cut anything. Because I'm not trying to cut anything, actually. I'm just trying to get some leverage and do that. Alright, so we're halfway there. Alright, so I don't think this glob is going to come through. What have we got here anyway? Yeah, you got two wires and then you got these globs all over the place. Let's see here. If you'll come through, I'm happy. Let's see here. I have to use my knife again. Again, I'm using the spine of the knife, not the blade of the knife. Don't want to cut these wires. There we go, and it's free. So now it's just a matter, and I'm probably going to redo these wires because this is absolutely absurd. And I didn't know that they were this bad. So there's the nut for this side, it just came out. And this wad of electrical, there we go. So essentially all I'm supposed to have to do is just pull this through. Like, this is so small that it's supposed to slip right through this nut, but because I have so much electrical tape bound up on this, which again I'm going to go back through here and redo it, and that just pulled off. Damn. So I'm glad I have a multimeter, and if you're doing something like this or attempting to do something like this without a multimeter, my advice to you is stop and go get a multimeter. So first off, I need to see which one is left and which one is right. Oh boy. Okay, so I believe I got the right one, because if this goes in here, these words are facing the correct way up on this side, and if I do this over here, they're correct on that side, but if I put it over here, the words are upside down. I don't think it really matters, especially since I'm going to end up painting it, but I like professionalism. You know, if you can make something look nice, do it. I like the fact that there's so much extra wire in here, so I'll be able to come up through here or go whichever direction I need to go. But everything from these running lights and everything I should be able to accomplish up here. Yeah, because when I move the wires around for the brakes and everything else, they come up through here, so I'm wanting to just pull everything up through here and work with everything up here. So it's just a matter of, let's see here, that's a lock washer, and the lock washer goes behind the nut. So you've got your flat washer that goes on this side, I believe. I'm going to give this a try. Flat washer may go back here though, I'm not sure. We're about to find out together though, aren't we? So this would go through here, and yeah, that's not going all the way in. So let's take this off. Pull that washer out of the way. Run this back through again. And that is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. So that's the direction that it goes. So we're going to do flat washer first, since that was the last one I took off. Well, there's a protective barrier over that lens, or that would have just been scuffed up. So we're going to do flat washer. Okay. Then we're going to do locking washer. Alright. I wonder if just by any chance, because this fits in, where's the old one? There it is. I'm wondering if these are the same size. Okay. Alright. So, come on. Wonder, there's the new nut. Huh. They are the same size. So, well, wait a minute. Nope. Maybe? There's some rust on here. So, where did I put the... There we are. Let me see here. Oh, that's a different size than this one, right? Actually, that's too small as well. So there must... is it this one? No. So, let's see how easily or how difficult this goes on. Actually, it's backwards like this. Okay, so I'm not sure if this will even fit on here. Let me throw this nut on here. Come on. There we go. Run it through. Pick up, run that through. Oh no, this may not work like I'm expecting. That is not going like I'm expecting it to. I don't understand. Let's see here. There's more thread on this than on here, and it's not going all the way through. So, darn it. I'm not even sure if this will even work. me try pulling off, because I know the originals didn't have any washers. It was literally just this in backwards. So if I can catch some threads, I may be able to get it to go on. If not, this whole video is for naught. Oh, alright, so put that back in the hole. There we go. Let's see if I can catch some threads or not. Alright, so it was able to catch on a few threads. So let's see if I can take the needle nose pliers, grab hold of it and spin it around, and that'll work perfect since I don't have this in there right now. Oh, I wish I had a shop. That's what I wish I had. I wish I had a shop so I could have a cleaner work area, because I really hate working like this. And that is not working the way I expected it to. Let me get off. I'm not going to have you guys just sitting here watching me struggle. Yeah, I'm almost 20 minutes in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video right now, see if I can come up with a solution. And if I can, I'll be back. Alright guys, so this is what I ended up having to do. I don't know if you can see this that well, but I had to basically destroy the inside of this, because it came with a little piece. It was a U-shaped little bracket that was formed into this rubber, and then a bolt went through it. Well, if you can see in there, let me take this off. There we go. So what I ended up having to do is take the old piece, which is, I don't know, here's one over here. So I ended up taking this piece right here. If you can look down in there, if the camera will focus. Oh, come on. There we go. You can see that it's threaded down in there. The reason why is because this whole all thread, hollow all thread, it's basically a stud that they hollowed out, and there's threads all the way across it. But that ran through here, and then you unscrewed on this one. This was the original. I broke this piece off so I can get at it, and it just fell. So that works out better for me anyway, so I can better show you guys. So this part went into this, but it's different on here. But what I'll probably end up doing is drilling a little tiny hole somewhere on here and screwing in, or I'll just adhesive. But I've got the wires running through, and then what I have to do is put it in at an angle and then press and do a little twist, and it's back on. So if I had some adhesive that would adhere rubber to plastic, which I'm sure they have out there on the market, and I'll look for it, I could do that at a later date. But right now I'm just trying to get it on. As you can see, I've got the other side on right there, so I'm just trying to put this side on. Once that's done, I can go ahead and start wiring it up. The first thing I'm going to do are the turn signals, because that's the most important part, and then I'll figure out which wires are for the running lights and the brake lights, and that's really it. You know, that's the only extra thing I'm putting on there, are the running lights, because you have, let me bring this up here. So green is ground. Both of these have a green on them. And I do remember that the brown are the running lights. So the only thing new I'm going to be hooking up are running lights and brake lights. So it's just 2 extra wires. Right now I'm just looking to wire up the ground and the turn signal. Once there's a ground on here, all I have to do is find the source of the brake and the running lights, and I'm good to go. So once I get this squared away, I'll show you guys, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so there it is, mounted up. Now I'm about to uh, figure out which one is the turn signal on one of the pieces there. And my battery is a little low, so I'm going to go charge my phone, so bear with me. When I come back, I should have one already connected. Alright guys, I'm trying to get this tripod set up in a better location. I'm about to turn the bike on. I'm not going to start it. I'm just going to turn it on. I have this one completely wired up. So when I turn it on, you should see running lights. And then I'm going to squeeze the handle twice. So you're going to see the brake light flicker twice. And then you're also going to see the turn signal. So let me go ahead and demonstrate that for you guys now. And then you're going to watch me in real time go ahead and solder all the wires together for the left turn signal. That's the one that I left, that I didn't finish, and I need to put this over here. I have the right on the left and the left on the right. That's not confusing at all. But anyway, let me go ahead and demonstrate this for you guys. So you should see a running light. I'm going to squeeze the brake twice. That's once. That's twice. And then let me hit the right turn signal. So, I'm actually very happy with the way this turned out. So let's just go ahead and get the other side done. I didn't want to have you guys just sitting here stare at me trying to figure out, well, which wire is which and what's what. Because I'm going to be honest with you. And yes, I am being lazy and using a chair to sit down. So here's the piece I've got to tie into. It plugs into here, so at least this portion will be factory. I just need to figure out what side is positive and what side is negative. Actually, I think I just figured it out. I believe black with the white tracer is the negative. Yes. And then the solid black, I'm assuming, is going to be power, which is really ass backwards when you think about it. Let me confirm. Let me confirm that before I go to wiring something up and blow something up or burn something out. I'll take my ohm meter, set it to 20, turn this bad boy on, and the front signal is activated. I'm just going to use my thumb as a ground. So it looks like, what do we have here? So I was actually incorrect. If I can find the piece, here it is. So the way this goes in, yeah, I was correct. So solid black is power, and black with a white tracer is ground. Let me confirm that one more time. So the left wire in this pigtail, which if you look at it this way, it's the right wire, but if I'm going at it this way, that is the left wire, which is solid black, and that is where my power source is. So, positive is going to be, let's see here, orange was the turn signal on this harness, so it's got to be blue for this one. I'm going to show you guys a trick just to confirm. Go ahead and expose some wire on this blue and on this green. Now this is just me back here without a lot of fancy equipment. I'll go ahead and expose some wire on the green. Oh. Being very careful. I'd rather have to do this 500 times than to shorten my wire. Now, I'm sure 99% of you guys has some sort of power tool that uses a battery. I like Ryobi. I mean, I'm not a Ryobi fanboy, but I do like Ryobi. But what you can do, just to confirm on something like this, so green we know is ground, and I'm going to put that on the negative side. And remember, we're watching over here on the left side. So let's take this blue. We should see an orange light. There we go. So what I need to do is solder, which is right here. Solder my ground into black with the tracer. So, and a lot of you out there in YouTube land that are like professional solderers that are like, how come you're not using flux? How come you're not cleaning up your wires? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? You guys are lucky I'm soldering this, okay? Because back in the day, there's my solder. I'm using very fine electrical rosin core solder and dispenser. It's low melting alloy with fast acting flux, so it has flux in it. But back in the day, I used to just twist wires together and then put electrical tape on it. And I'm sure half of you guys watching this just shuddered and cringed over me just saying that. But yeah, the number one way to go is solder. I mean, if you want the ultimate connection, you don't want to worry about your wires breaking anytime soon. You know, you don't want to worry about them disconnecting or having a bad voltage connection or any of that. Solder your wires. Go ahead and throw a piece on here. You guys are going to see how I actually wire up stuff for electrical. So on my other channel, on Deep South Bayou Diesel, if you guys want to know how the majority of the wiring is on my truck or even on my wife's SUV, this is pretty much what I do right here. I solder, and I'll take a little piece of electrical tape right here, and then I'll cover it like this. And this is just mainly so I don't touch positive to negative or positive to a piece of metal and cause a short to ground or a short circuit. And you guys will see why I'm doing it this way here shortly. I'm probably going to cause a lot of you guys to actually shudder and cringe with what I'm about to do next. Because what I'm going to do, trying to untwist this and it's not, there we go. Okay, come on, there we go. It ain't got to be perfect, I just need to get my wires on. Which one am I doing? Blue. Yep, blue is my source. Where it's going. So, there's my solder. Soldering iron. And I do have my whole setup to where I can clean this tip off, but again, I'm just being lazy right now. It's just 4 wires. It's not like I'm doing a circuit board or something. Alright. So once this cools off, I'm going to wrap these two together as one piece, and I'm going to slit this sheathing back a little bit to expose these 2 wires, because the brown is the running and the yellow with the green tracer is my brake light. Alright, so that's cool to the touch. So I can go ahead and wrap these 2 up. Alright, so now I can go ahead and cut this off without cutting myself. Alright, so now we're going to plug these in and do a little demonstration. There we go, that's plugged in. So, let's go ahead and I haven't, now remember, I haven't hooked up the running lights on this yet. Running lights is going to be this brown one right here. So the only thing that I should have, as you can see, there's the brake light right there. The only thing I should have is the turn signal. So again, remember, there's the right side. There's the left side. So far that looks good. And let's do the emergency flashers. So that looks good. So now we're going to further continue. I think what I'm going to do now is the running light. It's just the easiest because it's right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be lazy about it because I've already wired in the brake and the running into this piece right here. Okay, it's plugged into here. Now all I did was solder into the main harness. I know, big no-no. I'm going to come back at a later date and fix it. I'll probably just put some little male and female connectors on it to where if I ever need to change these out, I could just disconnect them, change it out, and then when I put them back on, reconnect everything. But what I'm going to do, and again, I understand it's a big no-no. I am not an electrician. I'm not a technician. So, in short, screw the rules, in a sense. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to like expose some wire, and I'm going to bridge here. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the yellow and bridge over here. Again, I know a lot of you guys are going to shudder at that fact. And, you know, you're like, oh, God, that's not the correct way. Well, let's look at it this way. Whose bike is it? Is it yours or is it mine? So, what I do when I bridge wires like that, I simply expose some wire like that. Twist this, right? And then I take my razor, my utility knife, and come over to the one that's already set up. Get those two out of the way. I do not want to cut those or into them. But what I do is I expose some of this side. Okay. And this is very thin, so you want to take your time. You don't want to rush, because what you'll end up doing is cutting the whole thing. And then you'll be back to square one, having to do it all over again. What I should have done is wired an independent wire into it, and then Y into this one and this one into that one piece of wire. That's what I should have done. But again, just being lazy. I mean, I was supposed to have a lot to do today, and I didn't do it. Why does that not feel hot? Well, it's still on. Anyway, so what I do is, you see I've spread this main one that's got the power already to it, and I've got this. All I do is I stick this through here, and then I just roll it. And then what I'm going to end up doing is coating the top of this wire from front to back with solder, and that should be more than sufficient. And we're about to check here, but that should be more than sufficient to allow current to flow through here. It's going to be covered up with the seat, so it's not like this work is going to be seen other than by you guys and myself. So There we go. And before I end this video, I am going to show you guys what my solder looks like. Not that if you care or not. But that's the running light. So when I turn this key, both of these lights should be on. That's another reason why I decided to do the running light right now. So, boom, there you go. Running light here, running light here. And of course, you've got that turn signal and that turn signal. So as of right now, we're just needing to wire up our brakes. That's only one more wire that I'm just gonna Y into. But if you look down here, you got that brake and you've got this brake. Whereas with the factory that I showed you guys before, and I want to give myself a mental note right now. Let me see how far into this video I'm in. 15 minutes and 48 seconds. Actually, this is the second video I'm making that I'm going to splice into one. But anyway, I want to make this my clip for a short and for my Facebook reel to try and get more people to watch my videos. But anyway, yeah. I'm just going to stop right there because I have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. So let me go ahead and Y into this. And then I am going to pretty much be done. So let's see here. Let me cut this excess sheathing. Let me see here. Yeah, because I'm just going to wrap it with electrical tape. It'll protect the wires underneath the seat. There we go. I was second guessing myself, but I decided to go ahead and do it. Get it over with. Alright, so where's the tape? This is why I need a shop, guys, because I cannot keep up with anything just out here in the open, and it's right in front of me. If it were a snake, it would have bit me. Okay, so again, I'm going to take a small amount, and I'm just covering this up because, you know, realistically, you're supposed to turn your power off. So, like, you know, disconnect your battery, or if you have a kill switch set up to where you kill power from your battery to your bike, you know, just flip it off, man. Which technically I think that's what I've done right now, having it turned off. But anyway, alright, so I need my needle nose. Oh, here we are. So, oh, and I need to buy another pair of needle nose. This is just a cheap pair that I bought from either the dollar store or Walmart. But as you can see, I have screwed these up. And this was done today. Trying to modify these to be exact. But I'm not worried about it. I will replace it. Alright, let's go ahead and expose some of this. Okay, let's rotate one way. Take away some of that cover. That way, take away some of that cover. Okay, so I do believe I have enough. Yep. So what we're going to do is go ahead and run this through here. I don't know if it'll stop catching. There we go. So again, we're going to rotate this. Oh, I am now ready to solder. And when I'm done with that solder, I'll show you guys my solder. I mean, not to toot my own horn, but I think I do okay. Especially, ow, that was hot. Especially for a non-professional solderer. I mean, I don't do this for a living. But, and I'll show you the tip I'm using as well. Alright, I think that, yeah, that'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Alright, so, let me see if I can zoom in, because I really don't want to take this off the tripod. Okay, I'm picking this tripod up because I am not fighting with this. But I want to show you guys how good that looks. There it is right there, if it'll focus. On, man. This camera just does not like me right now. Let me see if this will work. Yeah, it's not. I don't know why. It's alright, guys. I got a new phone coming. I'm using an old Motorola Moto 1. And so I'm actually upgrading to the Motorola Edge. And I know there's multiple versions. You have the 2021, 22, and 23 version. Well, mine is the 21 version. You know, I have money, but I'm not trying to spend it all on electronics so I can impress those that don't even give a shit about me. I mean, I think that's dumb, but, you know, it's human nature. You know, you want the approval of everyone, whether they care about you or not. And again, I understand it's human nature, but to me, that's just kind of dumb. But anyway, I don't fit in that category. I'm not trying to impress everyone. You know, as long as my family's happy and I'm happy, that's all that matters. So, let's go ahead and see what all I've done. Did I fix it or did I screw it up? Alright, so that's the running lights. Let's just do left turn signal, right turn signal. Now let's do the brakes. Moment of truth. Alright. So, sorry, I'm being a little kid right now. Yay! Okay, anyway. So, alright, so everything's hooked up right. So what I wanted to mention is from the factory, and I'm not taking these covers off right now for a reason. I'm not riding. I don't have insurance on the bike, so it sits right here. But like I said, from the factory, you have a 2-wire setup. Let me find. This is the factory setup. This is it right here. This is in all its glory. So you have 2 wires. You have your power or your ground, which I believe this was the ground and that was the trigger wire right there. And it was just your old halogen bulb. Nothing special. But it's just 2-wire. And I mean, if you look at the back of this thing, you see how narrow this is. Plus, you know, I was dumb enough to paint the bike black. As you can see, the original color was cranberry or maroon, whatever you want to call it. But I am going with another paint theme. I think I already mentioned that before. Everything's getting repainted, including the, let me see if I can bring you up here. There we go. So including the tank. Tank's getting repainted. Everything. It's going to be black. I'm going to try and go with matte black. I need to buy an airbrush. I have a paint gun, I just don't have an airbrush. Because I'm wanting to do some skulls. So I don't know how that's going to turn out. I'll probably end up doing stencil. My supervisor at work, he actually can freehand. So might get him involved in the project. I don't know. But, you know, if he wants to get involved, then hell yeah, man, more power to him. and then he can get his talent put out there. You know, because I'm telling you, this guy is on a whole nother level. Like, you know, at work, it's concrete, you know, and that's his passion. I respect him for that. But I'm telling you, the man has an absolute godlike talent when it comes to drawing. You know, he could be an artist, he could be a cartoon artist, he could be a tattoo artist, he could be an anime artist. I mean, sky's the limit for the man, but really, I mean, if that's not what he wants to do, you can't push a person or force a person to do something they don't want to do. I'm not going to do that to him. But I'm telling you guys, if you saw this man's freaking skills, everyone would be knocking the guy's door down saying, hey, man, you know, draw me out this tattoo. Hey, man, we need a anime, you know, our anime, you know, the person that draws the cartoons. I can't remember, animator, I guess. I don't know the exact name, but the person that draws all the cartoons out, yeah, they'd be like, hey, man, this person's out. We need you. And he could make a ton of cash. I'm talking about a ton. And he wouldn't have to push himself so hard. But anyway, so that's it for now, guys. I don't know what I'm going to do next. Probably going to go ahead and order the exhaust wrap. Because the exhaust wrap that's on here right now is just, it's faded to hell. So I'll probably do that with an exhaust clamp. The one that's on here is not the right size. So we'll see. I mean, I honestly don't know what I'm doing next. I may get a burr up my ass and decide to go ahead and get the what do you call it? Saddlebags. I may go ahead and put the new saddlebags on here. Honestly, I don't know. So, hell, you might see it next week and I paint the damn thing. But anyway, I'm going to put all this back together. I'm not filming this. I've got more shit to put away than you can actually see in the camera frame. It's rather embarrassing, but hey, whatever, right? I probably will cut this into a part 1 and part 2 because it's so long. This video is nearly 30 minutes, and prior to that, I think it was another 30 minutes. So an hour just to see me doing this, it's rather insane, and I know that's when, you know, I really don't get views right now anyway, so yeah. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. More updates to come. Later, Gators.